Today's reading is going to be about energy and about trying to figure out where we might be losing some of our energy if we're feeling exhausted. So sometimes we are being drained by things that we're not aware of, like maybe we have cords attached to other people and we haven't cut those cords after our interaction with them, and so we're still losing energy from that interaction, that relationship that we have with that person. We lose energy to our thoughts, we lose energy to our feelings, we also lose energy to other people thinking and feeling about us, and we lose thoughts to situations maybe that are frustrating, situations that demand our attention, that demand effort from us, and problems that we can't resolve. A lot of energy can be lost to just circling an issue and trying to figure out a solution. So there are many, and also obviously we lose energy to our body if it is ailing in some way, and we're working on healing. Healing takes a lot of energy. If we're not sleeping properly, that is taking energy from us. So there are many areas. If we're eating the wrong foods, then that can take energy from us because the wrong foods are draining, and they then cause our body to have to put extra effort into digesting, processing, and detoxifying. So lots of areas we can lose energy to, just as a kind of off the top of my head thoughts. But I'm going to do a reading to ask where we might be losing energy. So if you feel like you have an energy drain on you at the moment, if you feel like somehow your energy is lagging and you're not entirely sure why, you're well rested, you think you should have loads of energy and loads of vitality, and you're just not feeling yourself. We all have those days where we wake up and we're just like, oh, it's like someone's taken my battery out or something. So that's what this reading is going to get to the essence too. It's like, where is your energy? I'm going to shuffle the cards. Okay, so we have 5 cards that came out here. So I'm going to do quite a swift reading, moving through them. Otherwise, this is going to take forever. And I know that people have got attention spans of a certain length, so I don't want to draw this out too long. But basically, the first card we got was the Page of Pentacles. So that's the main where you're losing energy to is to this energy, and it is the Page of Pentacles it's basically, the page is an apprentice, he is a student, he is like a child almost. He is trying to learn how to do something. He is studying underneath somebody else. And he's like a child at school, basically a student at school. And so this card is basically saying that where you are losing energy is you're losing energy to the things that you were trying to study, the things that you're trying to learn and master. It's like you're putting a lot of your energy into that. And for you in particular at this moment, your focus is on the Pentacle energy, which is on money and finances and building security through your career, and through assets, and so it's so basically you're trying to do something in your life, and this is a good thing. It's this is a positive card. The card, you know, the card is a happy card. It's like the page is young and he is vibrant and healthy. The landscape is green and verdant, and the sun is shining in the background. And okay, so maybe the sun is a bit hot, so it's a bit intense, and maybe that's a bit exhausting, having this bright light over your head the whole time. But everything is looking kind of healthy, and the page is like, he's dressed in brown and green, so he's got like solid roots. Yeah, he is stable, he is grounded, and he is acting from his heart. Green is all about the heart chakra, so it's like he's coming from a place of truth, and he is grounded. This truth is grounded. Yeah, so it's like what he's doing is the right thing for him to be doing, and it's the right direction to be pushing in. It's a positive thing to be doing. It's just, it's a bit tiring. It's taking a lot of energy, because you're trying to learn how to do a new thing. So it's like, maybe you're trying to point in a different direction with your career, or you're trying to build your business in a different direction because it's become stagnant, or you would just like to grow it. So you're trying to learn a new thing. Maybe you're trying to learn how to use different software to enable you to do more things. Maybe you're trying to learn how to do marketing so you can kind of like widen your reach. Maybe you're trying to you know, learn a new skill, so that instead of being just this one and having this one speciality, you've now got 2 specialities or 3 specialities. So you're trying to kind of like make yourself more valuable, and in that way make your business more valuable. Yeah, but all of this is taking a lot of time and energy, because you're thinking in a very like kind of like air-centered way, but then you're trying to bring that learning and that knowledge down into the earth to ground it. And that whole process of like taking what is thought, what is air, what is idea and imagination down through the body, and then anchoring it into the earth so that you can then make it physical and make it manifest. It takes a lot of energy and a lot of time and a lot of thought. And so that kind of like circle that you are in right now is like almost like you're like a hamster on a wheel, and you're going round and round and round and round. So you're trying to kind of like, you know, run this thing into action, into manifesting, is kind of draining you. But it's a good venture, so it's not a bad thing to be doing. It's a good thing to be doing. It's just that, to be aware that this is where your energy is currently going, in case you're worrying about it. So maybe at the end of the day you need to disconnect, cut cords with that, so that you can then come back to yourself and be grounded and anchored in the evening, and not still be using your energy, you know, running that through your mind and processing it and trying to problem solve. Maybe it's just the fact that you need to keep it in a space with boundaries, so that you get up in the morning and then you go, right, I'm going to go to work. This is my work time. You focus on that, you know, that process, that learning, that apprenticeship there within that work time, and then you go, right, and this is when I leave work, and you cut the cord with that, you cut connection with it, and you step back into yourself as relaxed and unpressured and casual. And that could be a way that you could better manage that, and you could conserve your energy, and maybe you could, like, you know, through doing that, put more energy back in. And then there's 3 cards came out in the middle, yeah, that they just leapt out of the pack. So I wasn't going to include these 3 cards in the reading. I was just going to do 2 cards, and I have 2 cards, like the first card and then what can I do moving forwards. But these ones are in the middle, and they kind of give us a bit more information about the story that's going on here, and perhaps like you know, why we feel the need to lean into the Page of Pentacles quite so much at the moment, and also why it is taxing us so heavily. So the first cup is the 5 of Cups. And this cup is basically, this cup shows us somebody who is assessing their life. They are looking at what they have had in the past and what they have right now, and they're weighing it up and assessing it, and they're feeling quite sad and quite regretful, and quite disheartened by the whole thing. And you know, even though they have 2 full cups behind them, which basically shows the wealth that they do have in their life, like they have these 2 full cups behind them, So they have like, you know, two great things that they have achieved, that they have acquired, they have worked towards, whether they're material or energetic. But they have 3 spilled cups in front of them. So basically like winning these 2 cups, earning these 2 cups, keeping these 2 cups, whatever, has cost them 3 cups. So they have lost 3 things that were valuable to them, that they cared about, that they loved, and this has caused them to be quite disheartened and regretful, and they're looking back into the past a lot, and they're kind of like wondering how they could have done things differently, how possibly they could resolve things, how maybe they could get these 3 cups back. And so this is showing that we're losing energy in looking back at the past and in wanting for something that we had, or that we think we had, to be a part of our lives still. And this is taking a lot of energy from us. So maybe it's like, you know, problems with your childhood, and maybe your relationship with your family, and you have sadness over that, and so you're living in the past. Maybe it's something that happened to you while you were growing up at school or in one of your first jobs. But like there's a lot of energy that is being lost just in replaying the past and going over it and over it, and then standing there and looking with regret at the situation but feeling powerless to change it. And so some work could be done there in terms of like forgiveness and resolution of the past, and I think that would free up a lot of your energy, because I think a lot of it is being lost to that process. The next card is the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands is all about creation, and the Knight of Wands the knight is like a crusader. He is venturing off on behalf of the kingdom. He wants to you know, help support his king and queen and serve them and better their kingdom. So he's venturing off in search of something that could be of use to the kingdom. And so a part of you is off on a crusade to help your kingdom, and I think that's where the Page of Pentacles leads into this as well. It's like your crusade is the Page of Pentacles. It's like you have a career, and the Page of Wands, like the wands are all about creativity, and it's like, you know, what you build in your life. It's like I always think of the wands as like, you know, you're building a house out of wood, but it's a living, breathing thing, because wood comes from a tree. And wands is also like a magic wand as well. So it's like what you create with this wand, with your wishes and dreams. And so this pursuit of like what you want to build in your life, the life that you want to build for your, like there's the child you, or the younger you, who is like this knight, and they are on a crusade to build the life that the grown-up you wants, I guess, in a way. And the page is also like the younger you that's on this pursuit to learn and to build the life that you want. And so it's like you're expending a lot of energy on this pursuit, this creative pursuit to build the life that you would like in your life, in your environment, in your world. And so this is like a good loss of energy, because it's like you're using your energy to build something that will be useful to you in the future, that will bring you security, that will bring you satisfaction, that will bring you joy, that will bring you community, but it is energy that is being spent. And then the other card is the Ace of Wands. So this is again another wand card. So it is about creating and manifesting, but the Ace is kind of like, it's more also about spirituality and connection to source. And so it's like you're using your creativity, but you're channeling the creativity through you. And so it's this process of channeling in order to bring things into your life, in order to manifest, to grow, to learn, to develop. That is using up a lot of energy as well. So what we can see here is that basically, if I can't hold all of the cards in my hand at once, I'm afraid, but there we go. So if we look at these cards, there's only actually one card that is problematic all of the rest of them are positive and purposeful. So it's just the lamenting over the past, the wanting things to be different to how they are, that is wasting your energy, and the rest of the energy that is being spent is a good use of energy. So it might mean you're tired because it's taking a lot of energy, but it's not a waste of energy, it's positive energy usage. And if you can sort out the energy that is going on regret and lamenting and wishing that you could change things which are now in the past, then you will free up that energy that you can use now, and you can use that energy to put into the projects that you would like to build. And that will help you to feel better. The last card we have, and this is like, how can I resolve this situation and bring, healing into being, and therefore release myself from my energy drains and feel better. The last card is the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords it's about being stuck. It's about being crossed. It's about being blocked. There are two decisions to make. Well, there are two options, yeah. And you're kind of caught in between them. And you're stuck in your head and you can't see properly because of this, because you're disconnected from your body. And, this card has a woman sitting on a stone seat. So she's in a very uncomfortable place. She has a blindfold over her eyes, so she has no connection to the earth really. She's not very grounded. She's also wearing white. She's not very grounded. She's all in her head. She's all thinking, and she cannot see clearly because her eyes are covered, and also because she can't feel. She's on this stone bench on stone floor in front of a cold sea, and all we can see in the background are like rocks and a few mountains in the distance, and it just looks a bit cold and a bit inhospitable. And then she's standing there and she's got these two really heavy swords, and she's holding them up to her chest, and her arms are crossed like this. And then above is a crescent moon, and the crescent is about it's like growing a new thing. So it's like a positive sign for like a beginning of something, and we are coming out of the darkness of the dark moon into the growing again towards the full moon. But where the energy is being lost, and where the solution can come from, is the fact that this woman is like she's got two opposing things going on in her. One's going this way and the other one's going this way. One truth's going here, the other truth's going here. One part of her attention's going here, the other part of her attention's going here. And they're pulling against each other, and this push pull is like takes a lot of energy to stay still in the center when you've got a force coming this way and a force going that way. It's like it takes a lot of concentration, and you have to just hold still and firm, and like you can't relax in that. It's like constant tension, and constant like hypervigilance as well. You have to be switched on all the time. You can't possibly shut down, relax, sleep, forget, release. And so that is also an issue, and that is where the healing comes from. Is that basically, if this woman can remove the blindfold from her eyes, if she can uncross the swords and maybe lay them down at her feet, if she can rise up from the stone bench and maybe walk forwards and take a dip in the water in the sea to wash herself off, or if she can walk forwards into a different space which is lusher and greener and more benign, then she will be better placed. She will be feeling a lot better within herself. So that's the kind of thing that you need to really look at and resolve, is what does this card mean to you? What does this card say to you? How are you stuck? How are you losing energy? Where are you at war with yourself? And it's an intellectual war. It's not a heart war. It's not an intuition war. It's an intellectual war. You are warring in two mental spaces at the moment, and that is what's kind of blocking you. So that is the reading. I hope that was useful to you. I hope that shed some light on where you might be losing energy in your life and how you can resolve that situation. If you like this reading, please do give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to this channel so that you can check back in again easily and access more videos. If you would like to find out more about me, you can visit my website lemonrosepetals.com, where you can also book a reading with me if you would like, or pose a question. I will see you again in this space soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.